Welcome to yet another episode of Applied Salesforce. In this episode, I will help you walk through a micro project warranting auto response rule, web to lead, assignment rule, and other configurations allied to these. Let's take a good look at the requirement. Kali, the VP of Sales at appquotient.com, a career transformer and an amplification company, has entrusted you, the seasoned Salesforce administrator, with the below critical requirements. Let's run through them one after the other. Requirement O1: when a website visitor is interested in our course offerings, she should be allowed to submit her information in a form embedded in our website. The details submitted should be available to our marketing team as lead. Currently, upquotient.com offers Salesforce and data science courses. The first one, it's about the visitor sifting through the website of upquotient.com. And this seems like upquotient.com is an edtech company offering a couple of courses as of now, Salesforce and data science. Okay, let's look at requirement O2. A standard email response should be automatically sent to the lead. The response should be tailored according to the course chosen in the form. There should also be a default response just in case a new course gets added and we do not have a tailored template for it just yet. Requirement O3 also, as we have specialized groups to handle queries and to help leads with their specific questions pertaining to their area of interest, we need the leads coming through our website to be owned by these groups based on their course choice. The idea is upquotient.com had trained certain groups, a couple of groups as of now, in Salesforce and data science discipline, and these groups would spearhead the discussions with the lead. So they should be convincing enough. They should have the ability to convince the leads and have the ability to answer the queries that the leads may have. So ultimately, convincing them and having them um, subscribe to the courses. So that's the requirements. And you as an admin, right? So you started studying this requirement in detail, and ultimately you came out with a very lean technical design after your analysis, and you found out that it warrants email templates because the auto response is involved first thing, and you also need a custom field to house the courses that upquotient.com offers. So it's going to be a pick list field, and you need to have an auto response rule, because the expectation is the email has to be sent automatically, and the rules as such, because each of the courses, when the leads opt for either of these courses, the response that the lead gets, right? So that has to be tailored, that has to be specific, not the generic one is expected. And apart from that, the groups, there are a couple of groups who specialize in these offerings. One group specializes in Salesforce and other group specializes in data science. So ultimately, when the lead submits his or her information through the website, and when a lead gets generated within upquotient.com's Salesforce implementation, Salesforce system, it needs to be owned by the specific groups. So that's the ultimate aim. And in order for the website visitors to submit their information, um, you need to generate web to lead forms from Salesforce and hand it over to the upquotient.com's webmasters to align them with the company's theme, the font, images, banners, etc., and to host them inside upquestion.com's website. And the queues are important as queues are groups of users, and we have a couple of queues to be created because each representing the team which handles Salesforce leads and the other team which handles data science leads. And the lead assignment rules to automatically assign the incoming leads through the web to the appropriate queues. That is the analysis, the results of analysis. And let's get going. So first, let's look at the templates that needs to be created. So I have the default template to be created and a couple of other templates, each tailored for the courses. One is for Salesforce and second is for data science. So let's get going. So first, let me create a email template for the for the default response. Navigate to classic email templates. I will use the basic one, the text-based template here. Click on new button, text. Okay, I'll go with the important thing is to check this box available for use, else you wouldn't be able to select it when you configure auto response rules. I give it template, the name, lead auto response default, description, probably the default template to notify web generated leads. And thank you for showing interest in our course. It's a default one, so nothing specific. The email body, I had already copied. Let me paste it here. Okay, and before I do, let me also add the lead's first name. So let's look at lead fields, and the first name. Type in first name. Before I copy this, let me paste the body here. Copy this merge field. Put it here. Add a comma. It's pretty simple template. Thanks, and probably a simple organization name. Go with the organization fields. Just pick the name field, copy the merge field and put it here. Okay, the default template is ready, and I need to create two more templates, each tailored for the courses that upquestion.com offers. It's again going to be text, available for use, and I would say, okay, lead order response for Salesforce, uh, Salesforce template to notify web generated leads. Subject, I'll say thank you for showing interest in our Salesforce track, and the same thing. Let me copy paste it here. This is for the Salesforce. This is a body. Dear, probably this one. And either type in or choose it. Contact fields, then first name. It should be lead fields, first name, copy paste the body first, range. Okay, requirements, cool, thanks, and the organization name. Let me copy paste lead's first name and then the organization name, comma, organization fields. You can pull this up here, organization fields and the name field from the organization. Copy the merge field, put it down. Okay, so probably I will do this. Okay, I have this, sorry. Okay, the third one is for data science. I have this template already created, the content of the template created. Let me copy paste that. This is for data science, the third template tailored for the auto response specific to the leads who have chosen auto response, leads who have chosen data science. Okay. Uh, let's say I'll put data science. Okay. And then this one for data science template to notify the web generated leads. Thank you for showing interest in data science track. Here we go. This is for the science. Okay, fantastic. So we are done with the templates. What's the next step? As far as the technical design is concerned, we are done with the first steps. Look at the second step is create a custom pick list field course on lead object with the below values, Salesforce and data science. So this is, I already created this. Okay, so I'll show you lead object and fields and relationships, created course field. Okay, it's a course field, it's a picklist field with two values, Salesforce and data science. So that's also done. Okay, that's also done. And then comes the auto response rules. Let me configure the rules first. Let's go ahead with setup lead auto response rules. Click on new. I'll say up quotient auto response rule. Make it as active, and in any organization there could only be one auto response rule active. You can have many auto response rule entries. Okay, so once the auto response rule is created, you can drill down and add as many entries as you like. Click on new, give it an order in which it needs to be evaluated. The first entry, criteria is met, criteria met, so lead course. Okay, lead course equals, let's say, Salesforce. If the lead has chosen, while when the lead submits his or her information from upquotient.com's website, and he or she has chosen Salesforce as the course of interest, then you need to send a thank you response, right? So while sending thank you response, what template to use, that's what you're configuring here. And from whom you are receiving that, from marketing, right? Of quotient marketing. And here you can go in for the organization wide email address. That's easy to configure. For now I am adding the email address of a user. Okay, and but in real time every company would have their own marketing department's email configured, sales department's email configured. It's a standard email like marketing at upquotient.com sort of emails. And the template, this is, we need to choose from the template that we created and the template that is tailored for Salesforce response. Okay, and the available for use checkbox when you created the email template, that becomes handy here, because if you have not checked that, you don't find the templates here for selection. Okay, click on save. uh, okay, so here I need to add one more entry. Click on new. This is order number 2. The first one, if the first one is not met, it tries to evaluate the second entry. The first one is met, nothing is evaluated from there on. Again, lead scores equals, and this time it's going to be data science. Okay, and it's going to be marketing again. It's going to be this email, and the template is different. It's going to be data science template. Click on save. And as a thumb rule, when you uh, create this, you could also create something for the default. If nothing matches, okay, if nothing matches, probably you could create one, or you also have something as default. Okay, you don't need to create that rule, because we are looking at the web to lead, right? Someone submits the details, his or her details, over the web through the HTML form that you generate from Salesforce and host it in upquestion.com's website. If, let's say, you add a new course and you haven't really tailored uh, auto response template for it, the default template could be sent. Okay, so we will see that how it could be done when we configure um, web to lead. So as of now, this step is also complete. The auto response rules are done. Now the third step, as per your technical design document, is web to lead configuration. Okay, so web to lead is concept is pretty simple. You're trying to capture the visitor, your website visitor's information. The visitor voluntarily provides his or her information through the website. So this is akin to the websites that you visit, right? So let's say you're browsing for data science course. You're googling it, and have this advertisement, maybe Simply Learn or Edureka or Intellipath, some kind of edtech companies. So you click their link, it takes you to their website, and you're interested in one of those offerings, and all you do is contact us page. You see the tab, you click on contact us, it offers you a form, and you try keying in your information, you submit it, right? So what happens then? So once you submit, you eventually get an acknowledgement that customer success advocate would be getting in touch with you in next 24 hours. But ultimately, when you submit, your details enters into their system. When I say there, it could be Simply Learn or Edureka or Intellipath system as leads. Okay, so the same thing we are trying to do with upquestion.com. So you first need to generate the HTML form, right? So Salesforce offers you the flexibility, the point and click approach to generate the HTML form. That's what we are trying to do here. So when you generate the HTML form, you have an option to specify the fields that needs to be part of the form. Okay, let's take a good look at that now. So web to lead, the next step is um, web to lead. Search web to lead, click on web to lead, and try to edit web to lead settings and see what it offers. So first is web to lead enabled, and it allows you to configure the captcha. We're not going to do it now. And the default lead creator. Okay, so this becomes handy because by default, for all the leads that's submitted through the web, the default lead creator, the user that you mentioned in the default lead creator, becomes the owner. Okay, if you and that is one case. And if you have lead assignment rules, it depends on the condition. If one of those conditions satisfy, whomever you mentioned, either a queue or a user, becomes the lead. If all of that fails, again it pulls out from the default lead creator. And here is where mention the default auto response email template that you created. Okay, So in case if you don't have the auto response rules configured, or let's say the auto response rules, the incoming lead doesn't satisfy any of the auto response rule entry criteria, then the template that you choose here would be sent as response, would be used to send a response. That's a default template. So you covered all the cases. Okay, that's a default auto response default, and click on save. Web to lead, and let's generate the form, create web to lead form. Click here. So you have first name, last name, email, company, city, and province. Fantastic. Let's also add course to it, and just pull it up. Yeah, I think course. Okay, company and course. And the form, right? Once you submit the form, you have an option to specify the page um, that needs to be that that the user sees next, right? So website visitor submits the information, whichever page within your website you want to take the visitor to, you can mention it here. Since I don't have a website configured, I can just put https salesforce.com. Okay, I just put this, and here again you have an option to um, enable captcha. So typically the purpose of captcha to probably ward off the bots automatically submitting the forms, and thus disrupting your backend systems. Okay, so the web 2 lead setup is complete. Let's generate the form. The HTML is generated. All you have to do is select all and copy, and let me also add this here. Okay, so this is the HTML form. What you do is you in an enterprise setup, you offer this form to your webmasters, and they they spruce this up with the CSS and Bootstrap, add images and color themes, fonts which aligns with your upquotient.com's website. Okay, so that's what is done. And one important thing I want to highlight is you could see there are the fields that we added will be shown here. Okay, and apart from this, you could also see there are certain fields have this hidden. Certain fields are hidden. So one is the org ID. You could see this org ID. So once it means that anything that is submitted through this form would be entering as lead into this org. Okay, and that's first. And let's say the requirement is to also populate one of the lead fields called as lead source. So lead source is out of the box field, standard field on the lead object, which typically specifies what is the source of the lead. So in this case, the lead is coming through the web. So we wanted a hidden field to be added, so that anything that gets submitted through this form, um, once that gets created as lead into the backend system, into the Salesforce implement system of upquotient.com, you could see that when you drill down on the lead, that specific lead, you could see the lead source field being automatically populated with the value web. Okay, in order to do that, all you have to do is to have this particular line added. So what it does is you have this API name, um, lead source, and the value is web. Just copy it and put it here. And now you can save this form as HTML. Click on save. I will put that into my downloads folder. All files, all types have quotient web to lead.html. Save. It's all done now. So that's also complete. Let's look at what else to do. And the other steps are the creation of queues, right? The queues becomes handy. So to give a brief idea on queues are simply group of users. And if you recall the requirement, they say that the UpQuotient has trained certain groups of users, let's say specifically from the marketing team, maybe a week's training to specialize them to make them understand what's Salesforce all about, how many different roles, and what goes in and what takes, what all that, what are the qualities, what are technical things that one should know to get into each of those tracks. So that kind of basic training overview of Salesforce, as well as the data science. So the data science track, different technologies, different tasks that a data scientist would perform, and different technical requirements. So these two groups of people have been trained. UpQuotient has trained them on the specifics. So idea is to they should be in a position to engage the prospects, right? So let's say someone aspiring to learn Salesforce, they will have several questions about Salesforce offerings, the growth opportunities, the job opportunities, how the job market is for, and they could also have some kind of technical questions. What is Salesforce? What is that platform? What is Apex, right? And what is this LWC all about? And how you build the application? Is it a non-code way of constructing application, or is that combination of these? So some kind of the basic queries that the leads may have should be adeptly addressed by the marketing team from upquotient.com. So we have two specialized groups. Okay. So it means that when a lead submits his or her information through the website, upquotient.com website, and if they have chosen Salesforce as the course, right, they are looking for, they're aspiring to learn, then that lead, when it gets generated in the system inside Salesforce, should be owned by the Salesforce group. Okay. Likewise, when someone aspires to learn data science, when they submit their information through the website, they should be assigned to the data science group. Okay, so data science group should own that lead. So that is again done with the help of your queues plus the lead assignment rule. So let's create the queue first. Couple of queues, one for Salesforce and another for data science. All you have to do is to just go ahead and search for queues, create both these queues. It's a group of users. Okay, simple. Let's say Salesforce queue, and I'm creating a queue to have the leads pushed into it, and the queue members could be could comprise of users or roles, roles and subordinates, and users, right? And public groups. Sorry. So here I go with a couple of users. One is Jack Sparrow and others Shibu. Both of them added. Click on save. My first queue is ready. I need one more queue for data science queue. I just name it pretty simple. Again, lead object. Jack Sparrow and Shibu belongs to this queue. So a user can belong to multiple queues. Okay. Click on save. Queues created. Let's take a good look at the other aspects. So next one is to create lead assignment rules. Pretty simple. The concept of lead assignment, depending on the criteria, right? So the lead field. So you build the criteria around the lead fields, depending on the criteria, and you can define the lead assignment rule entries, and you can specify who should own the lead. If the incoming lead, if, let's say the lead could be either created manually inside the application or the lead coming through the website, doesn't matter, but it gets subjected to the lead assignment rule. right? So depending on the attributes of the lead and depending on the lead assignment rule configuration, if the conditions satisfy, you you assign the ownership based on the same. Okay, so let's take a good look at how you configure the lead assignment rule. All you have to do is to search for lead assignment rules. It's a lead assignment rules, and akin to the auto response rule, you could only have one active lead assignment rule, but you can have as many lead assignment rule entries. So first thing first, you click on new, add up quotient lead assignment rule, make the rule active, click on save, drill down on the lead assignment rule and add lead assignment rule entries. Click on new. This is the first order. Order means this is the first rule entry which gets evaluated. You can look at the course. If the course equals, let's say we just have two, right? Salesforce. Okay, and I'm going to assign it to the queue. So there's the ownership of a record could either be taken by a user or by a queue. The standard object, this lead as well as the case can have the ownership as queues, right? So I can use queue and select Salesforce queue. Okay, and in case of the queue members needs to be notified, you can use this template. For now, I'm not assigning any template. Click on save. The second rule entry is for the data science queue. Rule entry 2, lead course equals data science. Again, the queue, data science queue. Click on save. The assignment rule is ready. Okay, cool then. So let's test it out, and we look at how a user from the queue can accept the lead, etc. Because the queue is just a temporary bucket. Okay, and the users inside the queue members, we call them formally, need to pick that up. We see that practically. Okay, so now the configuration is ready. We have completed all the major steps. Now we could look at the lead tab. Click on the lead tab and see if any of the leads that got generated today's lead, and you can pin this up. Okay, today's lead, and we can ping this up. Okay, I have so many of them. Cool. And maybe I can create let's say I can create a new view just to see if I get list views new, all web leads. Okay, all I can see them. Click on save, and I can add a filter. So field lead source equals web. Click on to save. Okay, I have so many of them. Okay, never mind. Okay, so I have about 7 leads here. It's better than the previous lead list. Okay. Okay, let me open the HTML form that we generated. It was here. Double click. I'll open that in Chrome. Okay, that it's not that spruced up form, but it does its work. Okay, let's create one. Let's say Harry Potter, and email, I give my email, and the company is probably Potter Inc. Course interested is Salesforce. City, anything, okay, whatever maybe. I submit it. So once I submit, two things should happen. One is the visitor. I'm a visitor now. I should be taken to salesforce.com. That's a redirection that happens, the redirect URL. Second is a lead should be created inside the system, and its ownership should be with the Salesforce queue. Okay, so these things should happen. Let's try it out. And another thing, I should also get an auto response into my inbox, and with the subject as thank you for choosing Salesforce track, and the email body should be aligned to Salesforce. The content should align to Salesforce because that's a tailored auto response email template that we created. Okay, all these things should happen. Let's try it out. Click on submit. The first thing takes me to the salesforce.com site, and the second thing, I should receive an email. Okay, so let's check this out. You could see I've gotten the email here. This Harry, thank you for choosing, thank you for choosing Salesforce, etc. Cool. We have gotten this as well. So let's check the. Um, Let me pin this up. Let's check this. I'm going to refresh this. That's currently 7 leads. If I refresh and everything works fine, I should have one additional lead generated, right? So let me check that. Okay, all leads, all open leads. Let me see if I can spot Harry Potter. Okay, you could see this Harry Potter lead source. Let me see if lead source. Okay, so lead source is web. It is populated, and cool. So this works perfectly fine. Maybe the leads. Let me look at all web leads. Edit this. List filters. My leads. Maybe all leads. Done. And equals web. Save this. Okay, here we go. So we have this Harry Potter here. Okay, that's a previously there's a problem with the filter. So let's look at this. So we are able to get that, and it is assigned to Salesforce queue here. And one additional information, right? So whenever you create queues on a specific object, right? You automatically get the list views created. So the easy way is to look for those list views. The data science queue is a list view, and Salesforce queue. So easy way is to pin this up. Okay. So this Salesforce queue, I have Harry Potter because Harry Potter, who got just created as lead, is assigned to this queue. And underneath data science queue, let me pin this up now. So I don't have any leads. So let's submit a lead who aspires to learn data science. It could be 8 Harry, Harry Inc. Data science. Submit it. So I should get um, the auto response here. Let's say, let's wait. Here we go. So we got in decades, and the auto response. This is tailored to data science, And let's go back and refresh the data science queue, and you see Kate created here. Cool. And how do we accept this, right? So this is a queue. Even data science, you could see that uh, it is assigned to the queue, right? So the ownership of the lead Kate Perry is with this queue, and queues are designed to temporarily hold the records. Okay, and if you have to work on this, you need to take ownership, right? As a user, as a member of the queue, I have the ability to take ownership of the records. So I'm a member of both data science queue as well as the Salesforce queue. I can take ownership. You click here and click on this accept button. Now it gets removed from the queue and you become the owner. Okay, so um, let's say all leads are my, let's say all open leads. You could see Kate Perry is now owned by Shibu. Okay, so this wraps up our discussion, and it wraps up the the requirement that Kali, the VP, has asked you to build, and you have built it pretty fine. And you had a discussion with Kali, and everyone is quite happy with the implementation. Okay, and I thank you for watching this, and let's catch up with another video. Thank you, folks. Take care. Bye bye.